starting. It's going.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ginger Thread Podcast, presented by Branded Sports. Let's get these tweets out.
Wow. Okay, so I guess you have the introduction tonight. Nice to know.
Flyers versus Rangers, 7 o'clock tonight. I am Kelsey, as always, joined by my co-host, Wash. And we're here to break it down.
Yikes. Oh, my God. And is that it? Anything else?
Let's dive into it. Let's dive into the game.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was the introduction by Kelsey. First time ever for her doing that.
You're welcome.
Pretty good. I'll give you credit where credit's due. That was good. You did say the Ginger Thread Podcast, which, yes, that is us. But at the same time,
we're live.
We're live. This is not the podcast came out earlier. I get it. You're excited. You want people to listen. So go listen to the newest episode of Ginger Thread. Came out today, a day earlier than usual. But yeah, we are here. Flyers pregame live, presented by Branded Sports. Flyers are back in action after pretty much getting their doors kicked in on Sunday night against the Bruins in Lake Tahoe. But doesn't matter. It's in the past. We had our B squad out there, and we still pretty much do. But the good news is Captain Claude Giroux back in the lineup tonight. So you love to see that. Officially off the COVID list. Justin Braun officially off the COVID list as well. Not playing tonight. Probably going to be playing Saturday, though. Who knows? Maybe that was a good reset for him. Maybe he'll come back and be a lot better, and I won't hate him as much as I do.
Maybe.
That's all I can hope for. Possible that Jake Voracek will be off tomorrow. Still unsure about Lindblom and Konechny and Lawton, though. We're not 100% sure as to when they will be off of the COVID list. So hopefully soon. But Flyers Rangers, about 25 minutes from now. Carson Towarski officially in the lineup tonight as well. I always feel like I say his name wrong.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Carson. He's in the lineup.
Did I miss this? Okay. Oh, God.
Yeah, he's making his season debut tonight, and Brian Elliott in between the pipes.
I'm excited for Moose. The other one, not so much.
Yeah, I know you have a personal vendetta against him, which is just is insane. We're not even going to touch that.
That's like a whole another subject of why we don't like
That's
him.
For the podcast. That's for the podcast.
Yes.
But before we get into the game tonight, I know your day was ruined a little bit earlier today. So it's not listen, for me, this isn't a big move.
Who ruined it? That's what I'm saying.
This is not a big thing.
You decided. Okay.
I did not ruin the day.
Yes, you did. He decided to text me, and he'd be like, "Yo, wait, what did you even say?"
I literally just said R.I.P.
Oh yeah. So he goes, R.I.P. Mark Friedman. I said, "Excuse me, what?" He said,
probably not the best way to phrase that.
I'm like, I was like, wait, hold up. RIP, like, what? Like, he got COVID? Like, I'm like, what is going on? And he was like, yeah, he got claimed by the Penguins. I am not okay. I blame Ronnie Boy for that move. I know people were being like really dramatic. They're like, oh, like Mark Friedman. But like me, it's not that I'm being dramatic. It's that like I generally like the guy as a player. And just to see him, I'm like, yes, he's going to be up, like playing some games. He's going to like have the potential to be good. And then it was like, yes, they're like, yeah, we're going to place him on waivers. And then Ron Hextall literally saw that and was like, hot, joke's on you. I'm going to claim him. Bye. I'm sad. I'm sad.
Yeah, you're in mourning. We can tell you're in mourning right now.
I like him, and like people were like literally like being over dramatic But like
typical Flyers Twitter.
But like for the wrong reasons, where like me being dramatic that he's gone is like my own personal reason.
Right.
So it's completely different.
Yeah, it's not because you think he's going to be the best defenseman that ever stepped foot on the ice once he gets in Pittsburgh, because it's not it at all. Listen, he's a guy that was a fringe 7th, 8th defenseman. Does he have some potential? Yeah, but he's played 11 NHL games, and I can't say that I've been overly like, oh, wow, yeah, we need to keep him. Could they have gotten something for him where you would maybe see like, oh, if they would have traded him, yeah, you could have probably got like a 4th or 5th round pick for him, whatever. And it stinks that he was claimed on waivers, so you're not getting anything for him. But it is what it is. It's the nature of the business. Ron Hextall is a new GM in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a horrible defensive core right now. So, yeah, he's going to try and bring in a guy that he's familiar with, who he liked enough to draft him a couple years back, and maybe he'll help out the Penguins. But this isn't the end of the world.
I mean, obviously, like still in the same state as me.
Yeah, that's you got that going for you.
Yeah, like it's fine.
Still has no idea that you exist, but yeah, at least he's in the same state as you.
He does, in a way. He does know I exist. That's a story. That's a story for the podcast too.
Okay, yeah, another podcast story. We're teasing the audience here for what you hear on the podcast compared to the pregame show.
Yes.
But yeah, Flyers Rangers tonight. Rangers stole one from us last week in the shootout skills competition. We've talked about that enough. We're on to tonight. I'm excited. I think tonight's going to be a nice little bounce back game for the Flyers. They have shown in the past they're a good bounce back team. I feel like I say that every time they lose, but I mean it's true. They're not a team that goes on these losing streaks. Like since AV has taken over, it's a team that has bounced back well after a loss, regardless if it's 7-3 or 1-0, whatever it may be. They've shown the resiliency to come back and play better than they did the game before, and I expect that to be the case tonight, especially with G back in the lineup. First game since that Capitals game over, 2 weeks ago almost at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely going to be a little adjustment for him getting back into the flow of things, I think. But I'm not too worried. I think he'll be okay. He'll be good to go. And he'll have the boys fired up and ready to get things going.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. I like when Elliott is in goal. Like, I feel like he brings like a confidence, like comfort level to the guys. So it's like just nice to have that, and hopefully like that helps them get a win.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we're set up tonight in a better position than when we were last week against the Rangers. We have a little bit of a better lineup, I think.
Oh, for sure.
And it's also not the first game they've played in almost 2 weeks. So the big thing for me is Giroux being back in the lineup. He's your captain. He's the leader of your team. He's the guy that's supposed to get your team going. So that's big for us. And also, what other things that are helping the Flyers out? The Rangers stink. Just going to say it. And they now are without arguably their best player, Artemi Panarin, which I wrote the blog about the other day. He's taking a leave of absence from the team because of a story that came out about him potentially being involved in an altercation with a younger girl when he was around 18 years old. I still don't know if it's like nobody really knows if it's true. A lot of people are saying that it's because of his political stance with the Russian government and all that. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know everything about it because I have no idea. But obviously, this has affected him enough to where he's taking a leave because he's a little scared for him and his family's sake, because he still has family that is in Russia. And I mean, I think we're all aware how kind of unstable that Putin is. I don't think that's like something that's a secret. So, I mean, the situation sucks for him. The Flyers, on the other hand, may benefit from not having him in the lineup. And they are also without Capo Caco, who was second overall pick a couple years back. He's on the COVID list. They're also without Philip Hedl, who has been injured for a little while. He's about 2 weeks away from coming back. And as of a few hours ago, they are also now down a defenseman, Keandre Miller, who was just added to the COVID list, which... Yeah, that is a little scary to me.
Though, yeah, because like you don't know if they have COVID or not once they're on the list, whether it's they're just coming in contact with someone. And I mean, for like at least my work, like you have like your inner circle, so like the people like in your classroom, so like that's basically their team. Like the whole team is their inner circle. And then like if like God forbid someone does test positive, then like they all need to like quarantine. So like whether they have like little pods, like little things, like there could someone potentially that like he could have like infected if he is positive, or like then if it's someone outside, like he's like another liar. It's scary, like especially since we just had a bunch of players. Like you don't want other players now to go on that list. Ugh,
Right.
that makes me really nervous. So no, I'd be like disinfecting them, like spraying them with Lysol as soon as they come out. I'm like, you're right.
And
that's ready.
That's the thing. Like, I get it's a private matter when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a little frustrating when you have stuff like this. Like this happened 2 hours before the game, essentially. So this guy's again, we don't know if he's a positive case or if he came in contact with someone that tested positive.
Right.
Regardless, it's still 2 hours before a game that they're scheduled to play. Like you don't know. And listen, everyone else that tested today could have came back negative, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we know how that works, where a couple days from now, someone could pop up positive. And with Kako already on the COVID list, it's like, what are we doing here? Especially for the Flyers, who still have 5 guys on the list and are just getting a few guys back. Like you got to think Drew maybe might be a little bit nervous, especially with having the kid on the way and already a kid at home. Like you got to think he's got to be a little skeptical about like, oh, well, what if I come in contact with another person that had it and I find out 3 days from now? Like,
right.
So I don't know. The NHL's had a lot of games that have been postponed and canceled, and I don't think it doesn't seem like it's going in the right direction. Like with the MLB, when they started back up originally, they had, a couple teams shut down for a long period of time, and they eventually figured it out. But for some odd reason, it just doesn't feel like the NHL is like figuring it out right now.
Right.
Maybe it's just me thinking that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of over exaggerating it, but I don't think that I am. It seems odd. Right? I'm not crazy here.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like, and I feel like no matter what, it's always in a sticky situation. Like HIPAA always like is trying to protect, but like people talk, and like especially like we don't have like eyes on the inside, but like
right,
their players could be like nervous too. Like they all have families, they like girlfriends, wives, kids, like their parents, like their siblings and stuff. So I think like you have to really take into consideration, like, yes, you have protocol, but once it comes down to like really affecting someone's life and they're positive and like it's severe, like I feel like luckily, like, yes, they're athletes that they're able to bounce back pretty quickly because they already were in a swing of stuff, but like it's still scary. Like no matter what, it's a scary situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just now something that we need to monitor going forward here, especially, if he does come back. Yeah.
Everyone
if he comes back positive, then if Keandre Miller comes back positive with a positive COVID test, we may be looking at the Flyers shut down again. And that's going to, that is going to stink. It's going to be frustrating. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, but back to tonight's game. Brian Elliott in between the pipes for the Flyers. Igor Shesterkin in net for the Rangers. Moose has been solid this year. Can't deny that. I will say he's been better than Carter Hart. I hate saying it but it's true. He's played better than Carter Hart. The team has played better with Moose in the net, whether that's coincidence or if it's just he, like you said earlier, he does bring an element of like calm, cool, and collected. Like, all right, I can settle things down here. Not saying that Carter Hart can't, but Moose has done a good job of that so far this year, and I think that's kind of really helped the Flyers in doing that. So, as for Shesterkin, the Rangers have been a back and forth team. They're not consistent. They don't really play great games after great games. They're more of like a team that will show up for a period and then just completely fall flat the next period. So the Flyers, I think, in my opinion, they need to jump on them early. They need to get pucks on Shesterkin. I'm tired of being outshot. It's been the theme of this year, and they were getting better at it. I will say that. Definitely getting a lot better at it. But the last couple games, again, it's been a different lineup, so I can understand that part, but they've been being outshot pretty badly again, and I don't want to see that against a team like the Rangers, even with not our strongest lineup in there. I'm not – the Rangers aren't at full strength either, so I still think on paper we're a much better team than them.
Yeah, I agree. So it should be interesting. So with that, what are your predictions for tonight's game?
I think the Flyers roll. I'm going to be honest. I think the Flyers completely roll over this Rangers team. I put it in the preview that I had earlier. Flyers win 5-2, I think I said. Let me double check that. I said 5-2 or 5-3. Because like I said, I just think they have a nice bounce back game tonight with Drew back in the lineup. Yeah, I said Flyers win 5-2. So that's my prediction. I think they, like I said, bounce back pretty well tonight. And I trust Moose to shut the door when needed. I think I don't want to say it because I feel like it's going to be wrong, and I'm not fully confident in it by saying it. But I think this might be the game where Nolan Patrick finally figures it out. He's going to be playing with Kevin Hayes, and I don't know. I have a little feeling inside me, and I haven't been good with any of my feelings recently. Like nothing has gone right. Every time I have a feeling, it's usually the opposite. So my feeling, very small, is that Nolan Patrick is going to have a nice game tonight. That being said, with how cold I've been with everything else, I would say that he's probably not even going to show up. He may get benched or something. The way my luck has been going recently.
Oh my God! You're like, yeah, he's going to get benched. So who do you have? Who do you think will score first tonight?
Oh, first. First goal tonight. It seems too obvious to happen, but I can't. I'm gonna go G. I'm gonna say Claude Giroux.
All right. So I'm gonna tweet out a poll. I'm gonna say, okay. I'm really feeling Raffle. I really feel like he's due.
Okay, so he was the second name on my brain.
Yeah, I really feel like he's due. And I really wanted him to perform well at Lake Tahoe, and it was just like the opposite. So
do you think he scores first or just in general?
I think he's going to score first. So my pick is Raffle. Your pick is Drew. I'm going to put an other. So you guys let us know who you think will score first tonight. But I feel like tonight, it's going to be like 4-1 Flyers.
All right. So yeah, we're both predicting the Flyers to kind of roll tonight. I think that's a fair assumption.
I feel like it's like due. Like I really feel like it would help boost their confidence level as well. After
I also kind of like the idea of Kevin Hayes scoring tonight too.
Oh, for sure. I really feel like JVR is going to do something. I mean, man's been on fire.
I mean, yeah, he's been.
Him and Farabee, like literally,
he has been on fire.
Like, this man is on fire.
It is. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, yes, James Edmonds has been on fire. I will admit that he has played very well. I'm hoping he continues that because it's almost weird. Like I've seen this out of Van Riemsdyk before. I will say that we've seen these stretches, but usually they just come to an abrupt halt. Like there's usually all right, well, JVR scored in 3 straight games, then he's done. Then you don't see him for a little while. This year though, he has been the most consistent player on the team. Night in and night out, he is producing, and you love to see it. You really do.
Yeah.
I think if he can just continue what he's been doing, we'll be all right, and I'm not too worried about him. Farabee's been another one where he kind of gets into little streaks and then kind of goes away for a little bit. It's going to go one or two ways. He's going to score tonight, or this is going to be the start of his, like, all right, you're going to see him dip off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's going to at least get, like, an assist or something. And, like, even, I mean, Coots has also been really good, I feel like, recently, where he's been, like, helping with assists. Has he scored? I mean, yeah, he has scored, but I mean, I feel like he's like one of like the quiet guys.
Yeah, I mean, Coots doesn't always put up the offensive numbers that everybody wants him to, because it's just his style of play. He puts up points, but that's not his main goal. Like, his job is to shut down. Like, he does a very good job of shutting the other team's top lines down. So, I mean, I'm happy with the way he's played for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that line needs to get going. Other than that, I am interested to see what Carson brings to the lineup tonight. Should be that fourth line. I kind of like it. It's because we've seen what Carson can do, and we know that he's kind of like a physical player. So I like him getting down on the fourth line and banging bodies with him, Moran, and Andrioff. Like, I like that. You don't like him, so you can't. You're not. I get that. Like, I understand where you're coming from, except I don't really at all. It doesn't make sense. But whatever.
It does to a female, okay?
Yeah, whatever. For the Rangers,
I kind of agree. I do like that line, though. I mean, the way he plays, and I feel like Sam and Andy have been like having like a kind of a good chemistry where like a random person can just join that line, and it's not a horrible line. I mean, they've been pretty good. I mean, they're not amazing, but they're not horrible. So I think like just like seeing what Carson can do. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
I am interested to find out how long this experiment with Moran goes for.
Oh, I know. I really miss him like at defense though. Like, I feel like, has he actually like shot like the puck? Like,
I feel like I have not seen him on the ice as a forward. And maybe it's just I'm missing those shifts somehow, but I just feel like I'm not
that, or either like I'm not used to his like new number, which could also be that. And I'm just like not used. I don't know. I mean, and he's so tall. Like, there's no way you can.
He's tough.
Like,
he's not a hard guy to see.
You can't miss him. Like, yeah, I feel like he hasn't been playing. I mean,
it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, like he's playing, but I just feel like he hasn't been.
And I'm not saying it's good or bad. Like, I think it's good that I'm not noticing him in a bad way, but I'm also not noticing him really at all.
Right.
And like, if you're trying to make an impact and whatnot, like I get that, but you gotta do something. You know what I mean? You can't just be there.
Make some noise, right?
Exactly. Like, go out, get in a fight. Honestly.
And that man can fight. We love.
Like, if I'm him, I'm contemplating it. Because why not?
I mean, you at least got a head taller than them too. Like,
exactly, gets the boys' blood flowing, and like I said, maybe it'll get him more involved in. And look, I'm not knocking the guy because it's the first time he's playing forward. It's definitely good that he's getting this experience, but like I said, I just don't know how long this goes for. Like,
yeah.
Granted, maybe there's not many better options right now, and you want to get him some time to get familiar with the position. But like, if the end of this year comes, and let's say he goes back down in the Phantoms, like, if he doesn't really do anything, what's the sense? Like, why force something that's not there? Like, when the Jets did it with Dustin Byfuglien and the Blackhawks did it with Dustin Byfuglien, when he moved from defense to forward, like, you noticed him out there. He was doing his job and ended up being a pretty decent player for going back and forth between offense and defense.
Right.
I think Moran can do that because he's a great skater. And maybe it's just going to take time getting adjusted to the position. But so far, I'm not against him going back to defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, there's nothing that he's done so far where I'm like, yep, this guy needs to be a forward moving on here. Like, no, if I don't see anything for the rest of the year out of him, it's like, whatever.
Right. Yeah, like not a big.
I'm rooting for the guy. Don't get me wrong.
For sure.
But
for like a Sammy Stan.
Yes. Flyers rocking their reverse retro jerseys tonight, which I'll be honest,
I think they're bad luck.
I was gonna say, if they lose tonight, I'm ready to throw these things into the dumpster and set the whole thing on fire, because the last time they wore them,
they've all been bad.
They got destroyed by the Bruins on Sunday, and the game before that, wasn't it against the Rangers, or who was right? And that was the first time they wore them, and they lost in the shootout.
Yes.
I'm not saying jerseys can be bad luck, but the track record for these reverse retro jerseys has been nothing but bad luck right now. So let's change that tonight. Let's get a Flyers win. I'm confident they do. Like I said, Flyers 5, Rangers 2. That's my prediction. Giroux's going to score first. Kelsey's got Raffle to score first. I think Hayes scores a goal tonight too. So if you're out there looking for goal scorers, anytime goal scorers, Kevin Hayes, Claude Giroux, Michael Raffle. We just gave you 3. Hammer it. Flyers, Rangers, about 10 minutes away. Actually, who knows, because it's on NBCSN tonight, so puck might not drop till like 7:45 the way that they do their broadcast. But who knows? We're going to go watch the game. You guys enjoy it. Let's go Flyers.